What's going on, people? Sam here. What is it? 7 o'clock, 4 hours until the transfer deadline closes. And I didn't really want to do this video. I was considering, do I do this video after the news about Saul Niguez to Chelsea? And I thought, you know what? Yeah, I fucking do. I am pissed off about it. I cannot lie. I cannot hide it. I'm normally quite somebody who's sort of quite a civil person. I don't really say things like this too much, but I'm really, really pissed off that United have just sat back and watched this happen. I'll explain why in this video. I want you to let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I'll bring you updates on everything else that's happening. And I'll be honest, not much is happening, not in terms of positive things anyway. Not with Manchester United, not in the last few hours of the window. I don't think we're really going to go after someone. But seeing Saul Niguez to Chelsea, let's just get straight into it, man. There's no messing around on this one. Fabrizio Romano's confirmed it there. Sold to Chelsea. Here we go. Agreement reached for a €5 million loan deal from Atletico Madrid. Personal terms agreed. Niguez will be in London to sign the contract. Final details and the deal will be blah, 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 blah. Saul Niguez, whether or not, and this is the key issue here, whether or not you think Saul Niguez is the right signing to solve Manchester United's problems, he's effectively a risk-free €5 million loan. Try before you buy a midfielder who could work out to be fantastic for what Manchester United need and could work out to be another Falcao. But it's a risk-free signing that could have sorted quite a few of our problems this year. But instead, we just let him. I mean, look, does not say that he would have come to Manchester United. Maybe he wanted to move to London. Maybe he wanted to go to Chelsea. Cool, fine, happy with that. But we've just not even been interested in him. And I can't get my head around it. Sure, Saul Niguez isn't the sort of defensive midfielder, right? This is clear that he is not a defensive midfielder. And I'm not sitting here saying he could be our Ndidi. He could be the person that allows us to switch to a 4-3-3. Get it in your heads, people. We're not switching away from a 4-3-3. We are playing a 4-2-3-1. We are playing with two holding midfielders rather than two defensive midfielders. I don't know what you want to describe them as, but they're certainly not defensive midfielders, and they're certainly not box-to-box midfielders. They're tasked with staying in between our defense and our own halfway line. That's basically where McTominay, Fred, Matic, and Pogba, if he's going to play, or Van der Beek, whoever plays there this season, that's where they're going to operate. Saul Niguez would be perfect in that role. So would Donny Van der Beek, but Solskjaer clearly doesn't fucking like him. So I'm not even sure I want to waste any time talking about Van der Beek as an option until Solskjaer actually gives him an opportunity. But to just sit there, to sit by and watch Saul Niguez go to Chelsea, and bear in mind, this is a Chelsea team that has N'Golo Kante, that has Jorginho, that has Kovacic, that has plenty of strength in depth in that area already, but they've gone out and signed another one. So they're absolutely littered with strength in depth now, and they're absolutely fine. And I understand if Declan Rice is Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's top target, and we're going to go after him next year. But just honestly, I can't get my head around it. That's why I wanted to do this video. That's why I wanted to speak to you in the comments and see what you all think about it. So please let me know what you think in the comments. I'm massively confused as to why Manchester United wouldn't even consider bringing him in on a loan for 1 year and for $5 million. Sure, you're going to have to pay the wages, but if he turns out to be good, it's going to pay for itself. And we've given the likes of Phil Jones and Andreas Pereira and Jesse Lingard and tons of players crazy contracts. So how about you go and sign a good player like that on a decent one for $5 million? It's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. And this is exactly what I think has happened right here. Right there, right here's the issue. The issue that I definitely have issue with. Issue. Man, this is what I know it's David McDonnell. I know it's Disco Mirror, but he's probably not wrong. He's right in that Manchester United were never in the market to buy a central defensive midfielder this summer. United were linked with a number of targets, including Rice and Neves, but we're never looking at that position. We prioritized Varane and Sancho. We got Varane and Sancho. United's strategy, as per those closely involved, is about priorities and building over multiple windows, with midfield not considered a pressing area. This is what is pissing me off, and what has been pissing me off. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? How can the club not see the midfield as the pressing area when it is the biggest area of the biggest problem area at Manchester United? It staggers my mind. Andy, fair enough. You made me laugh here. Had a dream about Lindelof. He was our CDM and he did a great job. Well, you should let Victor know that he should go and play in CDM. But I don't know who's going to play CDM this season. No one's going to play CDM. We're not going to play with a CDM. We are playing with two central midfielders, and that is why Saul Niguez would have fit into the system that we have currently. You wouldn't bring him in and make him operate as a pure holding midfielder. Chelsea have just done it, signed him just in case. He's a just in case player. And Chelsea always go out and do that in the windows, really. Let me go down to the comments and see what you're saying. John, what are you saying? Missing out on a holding midfielder is annoying, but at least we've had a good window, a very top-heavy window, but a good window. Shame. That's a very good comment, John. It has been a top-heavy window, and that's what's pissed me off. Because it's the, I don't know. Look, and maybe this is down to opinion on how to build a football club. And I mean, what do I know about building a fucking football club? I run a great channel, obviously. Subscribe if you're new. But Man United and Solskjaer prioritized attackers and the centre-back and ignored the midfield. I don't know, man. I'm looking at the comments now. I'll go through your comments. So I'm going to start ranting. I don't like starting ranting. Look, Gary, you're right. We've had the best window for years. Yes, we've had the best window, but Manchester United have set the ambition. Man United have made me as ambitious as I am for this season now because of who we signed. Had we not signed Sancho, had we not signed Varane, and had we not signed Ronaldo, I wouldn't have even for a million years thought that we were going to be able to have a chance of winning the league this year. But we do have a chance. And Niguez, to me, helps improve that chance. Gives us more options in a key area of the pitch where we are just crap at the moment. And maybe it'll improve. Maybe Fred and McTominay, they will continue to get better as the season goes on. But we're going to play with we're going to stick with 4-2-3-1. No doubt about it. 4-2-3-1 is Manchester United's formation this season, all right? Done and dusted. We're not switching to a 4-3-3. Hell, we might even switch to 5 at the back. Sometimes, remember, was it Liverpool away last season? We switched to 5 at the back, played with 2 wing backs. Maybe we'll switch there. I don't think we're going to get... We're not going to get the 4-3-3 we wanted. And we go down to the comments here. Akbar, you're saying definitely a good window, but a top priority from the start is C, centre-back and central defensive midfielder. And I think probably this is probably why my reaction is going to be a little bit more angry than most people's. Because if I went into the window and it was so abundantly obvious for me that the first priority, and by some margin, was that central defensive midfielder, was that top-level holding midfielder. For me, that was the key signing. That was the thing that was going to unlock everything else. And I think signing a centre-back was clearly an important thing that we needed to do to partner Maguire. We've done that with Varane, and that's definitely going to improve us. And Sancho, we needed a right winger because we didn't have a balanced attack at all. We were playing down Rashford on the left all the time. That's why he got injured. That's why he got burnout. And bringing Sancho in was incredibly important. But for me, neither of those were as important as Manchester United signing a defensive midfielder. And I'll look at the comments. I'll read plenty more of your comments out here. Maybe this is considered an overreaction by some. I don't personally feel it is an overreaction. I just see this signing there by Chelsea. They've taken advantage of an opportunity. 5 million. It's cheap as chips for someone who is established, someone who is Champions League proven, somebody who's only going to come on a loan spell for 1 year. And if it doesn't work out, toodle pip, back to Atletico Madrid you go. No obligation to buy. Simple. Very, very easy, really. Ritesh, McTominay has a big role coming up then. Hell yeah, he's got a big role coming up. Camavinga's just been announced by Real Madrid as a new signing as well. Look, I'm not going to get angry about that one at all. Camavinga, we would link with him. Camavinga always wanted Real Madrid. He waited for Real Madrid. He got his move to Real Madrid. Good luck to him. I hope he does well. That's irrelevant. This is a different ball game altogether because of the opportunity that was there in front of us. Low move, 5 mil fee. Simple. Risk-free. Come in, do a job. Great. Come in, don't do a job. There's another Falcao. Didn't work out that well. Maldoror, he'd be a regular starter for us, but end up sitting on the bench. Let's see what's going on. What would be wrong with playing Lindelof as a CDM? Well, George, that's probably because Lindelof is in no way, shape, or form a CDM. Just because some of his stats line up and you think, oh, yeah, he's tall, he's stronger than Fred, he can pass a ball, he can tackle, his position's all right. No, that's just it. No, that's square pegs, round holes, in my opinion. Look, cool. If you disagree with that, you're absolutely entitled to. But I just think I think it's a staggering oversight from Manchester United just to not even be in for Niguez when the fee was 5 million and it's on a loan deal. I understand. Like, I don't think anybody would be able to rightly be massively, hugely angry at us not signing Neves for 40 million or Basuma for 40 to 60 million or Rice for 70 million or Ndidi for 60 to 70 million. I think they were probably outside of the realms of possibility, given that we've already spent plenty this summer. We've already made 3 big signings, but it's the risk-free aspect of Saul Niguez that really is grinding my gears. 5 mil, Champions League proven, can play centrally, can play out on the left. He's a very versatile player. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. Let's go down to the comments here, see what you're saying. Luca, you're agreeing with me. You're saying you're fuming. I am fuming. Like, Abu, you're saying, Sam, stop moaning. You know me on the channel. I don't moan that much. Tell you what, I'm not going to stop moaning. I am pissed off about this. I really feel bad for Van der Beek, says Joel. Look, I feel bad for him, but I don't know what the hell's going on with Van der Beek. I don't really think there's any point in me talking about him anymore until we actually see him play. Because Solskjaer, for some reason, he does not want to play him in that role. Very odd, very strange. And look, if people can see lots of you in the comments saying, "Oh, Saul's not a CDM. He's not a CDM." He's cool. He's not a CDM, but we don't play with a CDM. We are always going to play with this 4-2-3-1. This is the lineup against Wolves. Fred there on the left, Pogba there on the right. That double pivot did not work, and that's what we're playing with, a double pivot. We're going to be playing with McTominay hopefully here for the majority of the season, and whoever that person is, I don't know. But that could have been Saul Niguez. And McTominay and Saul Niguez, for me, strikes me as a partnership which would work very well, because a key issue that we have with Fred is the fact that his ball progression is not good enough. When Fred receives the ball here and he's getting pressed from there and getting pressed from there, Fred's natural tendency is to look over here towards where Luke Shaw is, or simply pass it back to Varane, let it go round again, and then start again. Fred is not really somebody who can break the... I know I'm pointing at the wrong player. I'm pointing at Pogba, but the point still stands. And that's why Niguez would have really fit into that system extremely, extremely well. Gerard, what are you saying there? Nice to see you. Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Our squad is the equivalent of having a beautiful luxury car, but pop the bonnet and it's a Fiat engine. Extremely disappointing. And Sancho and Ronaldo could look like flops. I don't think they'll look like flops. I think that's probably a slight over-exaggeration. But what our attackers are only going to be as good as we can progress the ball to them. Our attackers aren't going to do anything if we can't get the ball up to them. And what we've seen against Southampton, what we've seen against Wolves, and that again, that makes me even that staggers me even more. Is that it's not as if Manchester United right now on the 31st of August with 4 hours to go in the window that we've blitzed these first 3 games. I mean, we blitzed the first one against Leeds, but that's what happens when you play a Bielsa team. They open up, and when you can walk straight through the door. Southampton and Wolves, they closed the door, and we didn't know what to do. We didn't have the ball progression to do it. Bruno Fernandes was playing more as a second striker. Our 2 central midfielders didn't know what to do. They weren't breaking the lines with their runs. They weren't breaking the lines with their passes. We found ourselves frustrated. Jadon Sancho had no service on his full debut. Mason Greenwood had to carve the goal really through his own opportunity. That's why I'm pissed off. Eric, what are you saying? Think Ole's waiting for Declan Rice for next summer, given he's waited a year for Sancho, he'll definitely wait for Rice. I think you are absolutely spot on there. You can pretty much now put your money on Declan Rice joining Manchester United next summer. This summer, we got our main target from last year. That was Jadon Sancho. And this summer, we got our main target from this year. and that was Rafael Varane. The other one was Cristiano Ronaldo. That was an opportunity and also a way that we stopped him joining Man City. That was an opportunity rather than anything that was really in the plans. Ronaldo's just been added into the plans, and he's not exactly a bad player to add into the plans for there. But Declan Rice, you can guarantee that he is going to be, it's either going to be Chelsea or it's either going to be Man United. If Chelsea come in for Rice, let's see what goes on there. I'm massively reserved on Declan Rice and whether or not I think he's 70, 80 million. I don't think he's worth that. But I think you're absolutely spot on. I think Declan Rice is going to come in next year, and then maybe we'll switch to that 4-3-3. Maybe. John, you're saying, I don't like the look of Rice. You should probably have Pasta instead then. Wee, shit joke. I know, terrible. I don't like the look of Rice. Hasn't impressed me at all. Would much rather have Ndidi. Let's see there. Nathan, you're saying, I thought Rice was destined for Chelsea. Liam, you're saying I need to let it go. Hell no, I'm not letting this one go, bro. I really am not letting this one go because we've had a fantastic window. We really have, especially compared to the rivals around us, to the signings that they've made, to the signings that we've made, to the strengths, that the areas that we've now improved our team. But we've just let an opportunity go. We're sitting here right now with a fucking fantastic squad, the best squad that we've had in so long. Yet we've just ignored the midfield entirely, like it doesn't exist. Like it does not like nobody can see the problems. And that is what is annoying me as a fan, because it doesn't take a rocket. Any fan of any club can go, "Oh, that midfield's weak." And then people are like, "Oh yeah, play Paul Pogba." That's not where Paul Pogba plays. As I said, I'm going to keep repeating myself, and you're going to keep repeating yourselves. But with 4 hours to go, look, we're not signing another player. I would say we are done in the window. I'm just annoyed that Manchester United didn't see this in the same way that we signed Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo was never fully in our plans, but it was an opportunity that came that the club was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to let him join City. Let's bring him back to the club. I would put Saul Niguez down in a similar bracket to that. It's an opportunity to sign a player that, has been on our cards. We've scouted Saul Niguez back to like 2013 when it was David Moyes. It's not as if it's the first time we've ever known about him. And for 5 million, is it an opportunity that we want to miss? I don't think so. But we've just sat back and let it happen. Let it happen. Warren Davids. United looking like a donut right now. Good all round with a hole in the centre. All sugary on the outside and empty in the middle. That's why I'm annoyed. That's why I have every right to be annoyed. That's why you have every right to be annoyed. But if you think I'm overreacting, ladies and gents, please let me know in the comments exactly why I'm overreacting. I want to take your opinions on board. I might choose to ignore them. That's the beauty of opinions. You can ignore them. But I'd like to know where you stand on this. I don't think I'm overreacting. I think it's a bit of a mad decision by Manchester United not to take advantage or at least be in for this opportunity with Saul Niguez. But we have been. And now we've got Fred and McTominay. Matic is... You're just going to see... All season long, we're going to see Matic switching out with McTominay and Matic and Fred and Pogba and Matic and Pogba. And it's going to be weird. It's going to be odd. Not sure what's going to work against bigger teams. You're definitely going to see Fred and McTominay. It is what it is. Sorry if people are saying I'm ignoring their comments. I'm not ignoring your comments. There's just so many people that fly in. There's so many comments that fly in. I can't always pick them up. I'm everywhere. How you doing? He joined as a member. Unlike Niguez to Man United, who didn't join anyway. Thank you very much for joining, buddy. Let me know where you're watching from. I will try and give you a shout out. Should have had Camavinga, says Adrian. Look, as I said, Camavinga, I don't think anybody can really be too frustrated about Camavinga. For me, Camavinga, it was obvious, really, that he wanted Real Madrid. He went to Real Madrid. I'm not going to be annoyed about that. It's a bit like anybody else trying to sign Mbappe. There's no point. He's going to Real Madrid. Twanzebe in central defensive midfielder. I'm seeing that. Well, that might be difficult considering he's on loan at Aston Villa. So that one's definitely not going to happen. Oh, my God. The amount of people that keep saying Lindelof in CDM. Can someone point out to me the person responsible for starting these Lindelof in central defensive midfield rumours? Please. I would like to have a polite conversation with them. Katarina, do you think that Ronaldo can change the complete mentality of the whole team and actually make our midfield improve? Absolutely. I did say this earlier, Katarina. If you weren't joining in, where were you? Ronaldo will make everybody at our club go up at 10%. He'll find part of that. He'll find part of it Part of them that they didn't know was there. Everybody will improve. So let's see what happens there. But it's still not going to be good enough, I don't think. Chris Morton, we were never in for Camavinga. I heard, look, I don't think we were in for Camavinga. We were tentatively linked. If we wanted him, we knew what the price was. Josh, you're going to have to start paying me for this shit, man. Calling bad comments is too much. Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. Entirely agree with you, says Kev, on the CDM priority. We've blown away the chance to compete for trophies this season. We need an NDD type player. Now, look, the reason that we all thought we needed an NDD type player is because we thought we were switching to that 4-3-3. Given that we are staying on that 4-2-3-1, an NDD type player was never really the ideal type of signing. Not really. Maybe you still could have had that in a 4-2-3-1, but that's like playing Kante slightly out of position. But Niguez was 5 mil. 5 mil euros, man. That's basically that's how much that we probably got more than 5 mil for the loan fees of Brandon Williams, Axel Tuanzebe, and Andreas Pereira. Those three combined would have paid for Saul Niguez's loan. And the majority of their wages combined would probably have paid the majority of the wages for Saul Niguez. That's what I mean. It was a very relatively cheap, very relatively uncomplicated, risk-free ability to maybe improve our central midfield options. And that's all Chelsea have done. They've got Kante, they've got Jorginho, they've got Kovacic. They've already got central midfield options. Saul Niguez gives them another option. And that's what you need when you're going to be doing things like this. Now, Wolves apparently they're linked with, what's his name? Boubacar. I can't remember the 20, I think he's 21. Central defensive midfielder from Marseille. Could that mean that Ruben Neves leaves? I don't think it's going to do anything to do with Ruben Neves leaving. But we'll follow that one. Renato Sanchez, I also believe, is going Wolves. It looks like Wolves are going to have a cracking end to the window. Looking like they're going to make a good amount of signings. Somebody who is not going anywhere. This one's quite an interesting one. You can let me know where you stand on this on deadline day. Leon have approached Manchester United about a loan for Anthony Martial, but the player rejected it. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Anthony Martial, I know some of you feel quite strongly that he shouldn't be at Manchester United, that we should get rid of him this summer. I didn't think that he was going anywhere, not after Rashford's injury, and that has proven to be the case so far. Thomas, sorry I can't be here doing other things, but cheers. Don't worry, Thomas. I'll see you in here soon, my buddy. Renato Sanchez, yeah, he's going to be going to Wolves. I think that'll be a very good signing for Wolves. Quickly moving on here. Oh, my phone is pinging off again. It's like I'm Fabrizio. Anybody been watching Fabrizio Romano's stream today? Just like seeing two blokes just sitting there, just playing Snake on their phone. Mate, to be fair, if you're live for like 12, 13 hours, it is extremely hard to stay focused. Keep Martial, says Monique. Martial for Herrera, says Mirad. I don't mind Man United hijacking Renato Sanchez, says Akbar. Look, yeah, right at this particular moment in time, you can throw central midfielders. You can throw any midfielder you want out, but I don't think we're going to get any of them. If we weren't going to go for Saul Niguez, I don't think we're going to go for anybody. Simple as that. Jason McCarthy, you should stream on Twitch. I've already set a Twitch account up, actually. I might start streaming on Twitch. Maybe when I get the new studio, maybe I can start doing some games. I don't mind playing games. Everyone likes playing games. Chris, you're saying Martial should have gone on loan. His time is up. I wouldn't say his time is up, but he certainly needs to improve from last year. Before we quickly skip on to the next one, people, look at that. We are just shy of 400 subscribers away from getting to that Ronaldo shirt giveaway. If you're new here, welcome aboard to United People's TV. Lovely to have you here on transfer deadline day. I know it's busy. I know there's a ton of streams going on, and you can't choose to watch all of them, but you're here, you're tuned in, so make sure you subscribe to United People's TV if you're new, so you don't miss any other ones, and you'll be in with the chance of winning that Ronaldo shirt when that giveaway happens at 205,000. Anthony Jones on Facebook, you've said surely defensive midfielder is the easiest position on the pitch to play, not expected to score, and defenders not expected to score goals, and defenders behind it if you make a mistake, all you got to do is link the defense and the attack. I would say, Anthony, if that was the case, then there'd be a ton of elite level defensive midfielders in world football. And I really only think they're a handful. Kante, jumps out at me straight away. Casemiro jumps out at me straight away. Kimmich, he playing that role? Kind of think so. I would say it's easy to do averagely. It's very difficult to do at an elite level. That's what someone like Ndidi does. That's what someone like Kante can do. I think to try and say that it's the easiest position in football, there is no easy position in football. They've all got their difficulties. But I certainly wouldn't say it's central defensive midfield. That's a person who's really tasked with keeping the organisation and the shape of the whole team together. In my opinion, I'd say it's actually really one of the hardest. Not from a physical point of view, but in the overall game. I think it's an easy position. As Chris says there, it's probably an easy position to play, but it's not an easy position to play well. That's what I would say. Could we get Busquets from Barcelona? Verratti's name's coming in here. Look, man, as I said, at this point, I would say, ladies and gents, it's a waste of time to get yourself excited about United going after any sort of signing in the next 3.5 hours. We're not going to bring one in. I would say we're done for the window. We've done great with the signings that we've made. We've done incredibly poorly as a football club, in my opinion, to overlook the major problem that we've got in midfield and our midfield options. Not necessarily to do with a defensive midfielder. If we weren't going to switch to the 4-3-3, then that pure holding mid, that number 6, that proper Ndidi type player, was never going to come in. But if Saul Niguez is available and you're going to stick to the 4-2-3-1 and you don't go and get him, or you don't go in for him and he's only 5 million, that confuses the hell out of me. That pisses me off. That really makes me angry, because for me, this summer, the most important signing that we needed to make was in defensive mid, was a holding midfielder. But apparently, we were never in for one. You can let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Look, I'll wrap this one up now, because I'm going to start ranting and raving, and it's not my style. I don't like doing that. But for me, I'm pissed off. I hope Fred can prove me wrong, make me eat humble pie, and he's going to have an incredible season. McTominay is going to win Player of the Year and Premier League Player of the Year for being an incredible central midfielder. I don't think either of those things will really happen, but let's see. And I'd like to be proven wrong. But for me, the weakness has always lay in central midfield, and we're going to stick with that this season, because United didn't go in for Niguez. We didn't go in for anybody. That annoys me. That really annoys me. There's no more news really about Ronaldo's shirt number, no more news about Lingard or anything else happening. If anything does happen, please come back to United People TV. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Fred and McTominay, we're going to be sticking to that. 4-2-3-1, we're going to be sticking to that. Saul Niguez could have come in and done a job, but maybe why are you going to go for Niguez if you're not going to play Donny van der Beek? But, I mean, he's not playing Donny, so you may as well go for someone. Anyway, Niguez has gone to Chelsea. I'm pissed off about it. You let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, please smash that like button. Subscribe to United People TV. Even have out of sympathy for how annoyed I am at Niguez to Chelsea. 5 mil. Look, I think it'll be a good signing for Chelsea. Let's see what goes on next. I'll be back here later on if I need to be. Maybe I'll come up with a roundup. No, it's actually my full transfer window roundup is going to be tomorrow in the morning, so you check that out. But if anything else happens later on today, you know where to come. Take it easy.